And as I mentioned in the it is actually a bit of a struggle for this month. So what I'm going to say is, I should just mention I'm using a new deck here. Well, it's not new. I've actually had it for a while. I just don't use it often. Anyway, what I'm looking at here, though, is looks like some emotional cards for sure. Some things going on for you. This is actually the deck called it's the Lover's Guide to Dating, Mating, and Relating. But believe it or not, it's not really about love so much. It's actually and I'm not really reading it in quite a way. I'm going to read it as it comes out, meaning whoever this resonates for, it'll be whatever the strongest cards are that speak to me. So, but anyway, it is by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. So what I would say here is this is definitely a period of struggle for a little bit of it anyway. They're minor arcana, so on that note, just know that this is passing, very passing energy. It's not super significant. It is just some troublesome news that have arisen. So when we get to the card of first one out here, which is the Eight of Roses, the signals, this part of it does sort of speak to being romantically inclined. So again, we're starting off with that sort of basis, something around the home front or tradition or something around values, belief system, foundation. Could be even a job front here as well, but because it's starting out with an emotional card, I'm not going to say it's around the job front. It seems to be that it's more around the home front or your home base. The fact that we're starting out with the Eight of Roses again speaks to whatever you put out there is coming back to you, but it seems to be in more of a way. So that part is good energy. So in other words, if you have initiated a conversation and it was positive, that energy is coming back to you in the same way, but it also speaks to communications. So there could be some communication that is coming in here in the next short while, in around the home, around the family unit or whatever, anything that represents tradition to you. So long-term connections and so on. But it does speak to an action or some kind of getting clear on something here, via email, telephone, letter, whatever, some form of communication there. So it does feel like something is coming in for you to be able to make some sense of, and get the sign or the symbol or the language, whatever it is, that will help you to make sense of how something is going forward. The other part of it is again, it's dealing with tradition. So again, as I mentioned, that is the secondary card. So it does feel like things will kind of resolve itself here with this energy. But this is the major arcana, but this is not the one that is the first card out. So really the card that I see here is just letting you know that something that you're waiting for communication on that's in around family front, home front, or something that represents your foundation is coming through here in the next little bit. Is also kind of speaks to getting clear with, knowledge or mysteries or something that that you've been trying from the past that you've been trying to sort of understand. It's having that sense of becoming a wise teacher and that kind of thing as well. So for some of you, you might be kind of looking into more information or things from formalized units, like I said, anything that deals with love connections or anything like that. But either way, it's a structured sort of energy that you're dealing with is this month. So I would just say whatever is an establishment or a long-term connection or some kind of conservative traditional value, that is the role here that be affected in terms of the communication. Okay, getting on to the next cards here. So this is the card of courage. So again, Seven of Roses. Now it goes from the 7 to the 8. So again, it's progressive. So there's definitely an advancement, and it does seem like it is going to be something here that helps you to, again, get clear on what's happening, because that takes some courage to get to this point. So that is a card of yes, there will be a little bit of courage or stamina to overcome this fear or whatever is arising. But it does indicate that it is important and it's necessary, to be able to, get an idea of how to go forward in the future. So if there's something that you didn't know before, you will now know in the future, this is how it will be better dealt with, because you can't be afraid to sort of, compromise, but it's also about don't give up, going is basically what this card speaks to, the Seven of Swords, the courage. Okay, so keep going despite your fears. Okay, now there is a tower further out. Again, it's not the main energy, but it's almost like something that you expected is changing. The dynamic here is changing. Something that you expected to come through is not coming through in the way that you had hoped, because the tower is an indicator that this is something that is going to be a problem. It's a bit of a crisis, so it does mean that something unexpected has happened that is going to force you to endure a situation here. So it's again, expect the unexpected. There's kind of a volatility that goes with that. Is something is kind of held in stasis, something is stuck, something is not moving ahead, something is not moving forward here. So again, this could be in regards to a relationship, or it could be in regards to something around the home, foundation, family front. That's what I would say from the earlier cards there. But again, just know that it's not the main card out, but it is posing as a difficulty or a problem to overcome. So there's something here that you have to understand is unpredictable in the month of August, that is causing a little bit of difficulty, which is destabilizing you in some way. The fact that we get to the hangman is also the card that there is something that is stuck. Something is, and again, your attitude has to change around it, but it's also about something that is a bit of a sacrifice. Something has to be given up. Something has to be sacrificed. Something is delayed. Something is not moving ahead. Something is not supporting you in some way that you had hoped. But there is definitely something here about, having to your mind around what this is and able to get through this difficult time, because again, that tower is what's come out here. So it's, a positive change can occur, but it's also going to be based on how you deal with the situation. When we get to the Emperor, again, this is back in control energy. So it could represent a father figure here as well, somebody who's fairly established, but it also is something that speaks to balancing things out. So the Emperor is that card of being back in control of a situation after a time of, discord or something, volatile with that tower energy. Again, it wasn't the main card out, so that's why I'm less bummed by it, but it is a secondary card because it's a difficulty or a challenge that you're having to overcome in this month. So there's something here about persevere a little bit longer. You'll be back on top. There'll be a certain level of accomplishment, and you'll be feeling much more confident and balanced here once you overcome this situation. Last card's out, and I did pull a lot of clarifiers on that because I wanted to find out what that difficulty was. So Prince of Wings does indicate that there is some kind of a challenge here. There is a difficulty that you're having to tap into. Again, that was already established. It does seem to be around the home front or something along that line here. But there's something here, again, father figure is showing up here as well. So, but the Prince of Wings could also be dealing with a younger person as well. But there's something about when it's the challenger, it's the basically the Page of Swords. So there's more information that you need to hear, or to or explore. But this is also a card that indicates that there might be a bit of a sacrifice. So whether it's a time delay, which is the sacrifice, or something else, there's something that's required and able for you to take something to the next level here, or to move it into the reality need, so that you can, grow something or expand on something or make something manifest. So there's some kind of knowledge or something of a communication that is also coming through twice in these cards. So I do feel like you'll be getting some resource or some information, something that's going to be coming in here pretty quickly here with the Page of Swords. That does indicate that it's more about information that's coming through versus anything else. So when we get to the difficulty, which again is all around the family front here as well, it does mean we're almost to that conclusion of that difficulty. So there's something here that's still kind of lingering. The worst is over. It'll be pretty much resolved in the month of August, I would say, even though you're all on your own timeline. So that does mean that some of you might be a little further out. You don't all make a decision on Saturdays for anything, or, on a Monday for, a big life event or whatever. So anyway, my point is the Ten of Wings is indicating that there is some kind of stress or anxiety that you're having to face in terms of a problem or difficulty. It does also indicate that there is something here that might require a professional to assist you with. Again, another card of message coming through with the Princess of Wings. So again, there's still some really good information that is going to be coming through that is going to help you to overcome this. It's not just the prince, but a princess. So again, this could be dealing with two younger people here as well. But there is definitely communication that's coming through either way. It looks like three pieces of information that you might be needing to gain information on. But there's definitely some kind of volatility there in the communication. So something along the lines of this is helping you to focus and gain some insight into the direction of what it is that you're trying to achieve for this month. Maybe you need to research something a little bit more or get a little bit more detail in terms of like a book or class or even getting more information from a friend or some other, entity. But either way, the information is what's going to change the situation, the dynamic, and be able to put it into action. So again, three different things seem to be coming through here in terms of information to overcome this difficulty. And again, you've got the Seven of Gems, which also indicates that there is something here as far as a challenge of some sort. And of course, the Seven is still, dealing with a level of order to get something to change. So there's a level of frustration in whatever the situation is. Something might seem a little unreasonable here, and there's no absolute guarantees, but there is definitely information that is going to help you to escalate the result of this. So we'll see. We've also got something you were maybe had an expectation of, didn't quite measure up to the expectation, because when I see the realist, it's almost like bringing everything back down to reality, trying to look at what's actually achievable versus what we have in our minds. So it's the illusion of something. But the gems definitely are pentacles, and they are grounded energy. So there is some practicality in what you do or what you need to do and able to gain some kind of advancement. Um, I would say that the reality is you thought maybe you were doing something all on your own, but it's almost like that distortion has been cleared. Realize that you are not doing it all on your own. So it does require some assistance, it requires some help. So again, it's like it's becoming aware that there is other things at play that are helping to advance things ahead. So I still feel like this is, a positive card as well, and it does mean that you're starting to kind of ground yourself in the energy. So there's not a lot of Oh, hi, Dementia. Yeah, sure. I just wanted to finish up on this one, and then yeah, you can ask another question. But I definitely feel like practical matters require a practical mind, and that is what I'm getting here, unable for you to kind of move something ahead. And it still for sure, lots of practicality. Three of gems also coming in here, so it definitely feels there's a lot of coordination, between other things here, whether this is love interests or work interests or career. It just feels like there is a blessing of some sort where things are going to help support whatever it is that tower moment placed. But definitely it's going to help things to grow further. And it feels like you're going to realize that things are working. Um, you're going to realize that things are working together in a business or in a love situation. Things are still moving ahead and expanding. The Nine of Gems, again, lots of really good cards, despite that card, those are cards of frustration and waiting on something. But there's three different levels of communication that are going to help or will affect this month in August. And that information is going to dramatically improve whatever it is that you're working on, which will help you to be a little bit more independent or free or feel like you're much more self-reliant. So there's something here about the outdoors as well. Something about the outdoors that you need to kind of be aware of or make use of, because somehow it's going to help you to find a stronger sense of yourself, and it'll help you to stick to your plans as well. So again, there's something really strong about grounding yourself, very, very, very much so in this period. And again, patience, whatever it is, you're definitely waiting for some for sure, because there's a lot of communication that's going to move it to one level to another. But there's some three different aspects I would say that are relevant period. And then again, even when we get to sorry, the temperance card, that still speaks to, maybe feeling like you're halted, but you know something is still coming. There's something that's quite important. Again, three different pieces of information that I feel will help to move something along. Um, it's not a card of rushing, it's a card of waiting, for the right information to come in, learning how to initiate the plans and to, work through those complexities. So you don't rush in, you're waiting for perfect moments and able to channel that energy through and make the plans, move in the way and the results that you're looking for. Thank you, Devancha. Oh my gosh. Okay, one more sec here. We're almost done. I think there's only three cards. But again, there will be some disappointment on the time frame. I think you were expecting something to go ahead within a certain period, and I feel like that's where there's a bit of a letdown. It just feels like, things are being left behind for the best. Like as far as whatever rejection you felt or whatever disappointment or whatever difference, just know that it is going to work in your favor later, but now just realize that those will be gains in the future. It does speak to a future success versus, thank you, Devansha. Put your question down there and I will get to that one for sure. But definitely will be something, down the road here that is going to be more of a reward because you just have too many cards of gems and which are all things. And of course, the Prince of Gems also speaking to the builder. So something that you're trying to build, something that you're trying to, enhance, something that you're trying to construct, whatever, is still takes a lot of responsibility and it definitely requires support. So now it's like you've gone through this period of illusion, thinking things were going to be one way, and now you're realizing that nothing is free, everything has a bit of a price attached to it, and things must be built with a strong foundation and able for everybody to enjoy it. It's that kind of energy. That's what the card speaks to. So it does symbolize, purity, good health, and confidence. And for sure, it is speaking to practical matters. And again, there is the reality of being grounded again. So there is something that's very goal oriented here, but it feels like you are much more skilled now in realizing all of the elements that were maybe a little bit in the air before. You didn't really understand how something was really working, but now you're starting to get a sense that everything takes honest hard work. And there's definitely something here about patience required, perseverance, and sense. So nothing, slow and steady wins the race is definitely the energy here. And to really understand your values and, take some kind of gain there from the process, and realizing it does require more than, it takes everybody's effort to sort of make something work and rejuvenate things and get it working again. So then we get to the period of anxiety. And again, you are feeling some kind of anxiety around something that you're trying to build for sure, which doesn't be advancing fast enough for you. But I would say that, if you're feeling a little bit left out or that something didn't move ahead here, just know that things will improve. You are developing that ability to balance things out now. And again, paying attention to your intuition, stop worrying about what happened. And now you just have to go forward in the future with more of a reality check. Having an understanding now that, by focusing too much on the problem, that's going to give you the solution because you're just draining your energy. Take everything in little steps and go forward. And then you'll realize that you actually have more control over a situation. You could get more advice as well if that's required, but and then we've got shells. So the Three of Shells is ultimately a celebration. So it does feel like you eventually will get the ultimate goal or the thing that you were looking for. So, you're not alone in how this came about because the three is a combination. It's a group of everybody working together to take advantage of a situation or make an opportunity arise. So everybody's kind of contributed and worked hard to make something work. So again, there could be a celebration that's up ahead here as well, but it also speaks to teamwork, makes the dream work, all of that. So it's just giving thanks and gratitude. To figure out that you didn't do it alone. I feel with the devil energy again, there is something here about some toxic energy. Again, these are just clarifiers, not the main energies out. But it's almost like, you had something of a temptation that maybe kind of drew you off in a particular way. And it's almost like that has started to dissipate because all the energy keeps coming back. Ground, reground yourself. Stay practical. Don't be seduced by the bigger picture and all of those things. Don't wear a mask. Don't play the game. Don't keep the secrets. Don't. You're really in that space of trying to um, be careful and don't trap yourself. The card of death is, of course, that card of huge transition. So you're in a space right now where you are going through a huge transition in your life. So it's like, no, you don't want to start again. This is really a sign of, you know, feeling like you don't have a situation, but again, there's still something to be salvaged or saved here. So it's coming to terms with this new reality, and that's where the change is. And it may seem a little unpleasant at first, but you're going to realize that it passed in the right way, like things moved in the right way so that you actually had the right development. And again, it feels like the walls and the illusions are all coming down, and this is now in that space of there is new hope, in this situation. So I would just say, not to have given up on everything, because this is the catalyst for the transformation in your life. So you've opened some new doors in different ways and you've learned a lot. Last card out, Seven of Shells. And then we'll get to Devancha's question. And so I do see Seven of Shells is the illusion. So again, there's something here that Seven of Shells is all about, go with the flow to a certain extent here. You can go out and have a time, but again, because the Seven of Shells is an illusion, it's almost like you still need to keep clear, identifying, how do I put that? What's illusion and fantasy and what's actually real. What are the things that really, and also it kind of represents a lot of mood swings here too, riding that emotional roller coaster of sorts, right? So it's where your intentions aren't clear because you get this vivid imagination of how things are in your mind, and then you realize, that it's not really quite that way. And so you're trying to create this big illusion because you feel you deserve it and you see it very clearly in your mind, but it's almost like you want to protect yourself against that wishful thinking is really what the card speaks to. And the last cards out were just the advice cards, and these are from the Art of Our deck. Okay, so what it says here is Sun Tzu says, he will win who prepared himself to take the enemy unprepared. So preparation is power. So obviously there's some lack of preparation, and that's why this card is coming out. So whatever you do in life, it is essential to make a plan. All plans should begin with a careful assessment of all the circumstances involved. The point of this is the information. This process will give you the point of this is the information this process will give you. Ask around, get help from the appropriate people. Arming yourself with the relevant intel will allow you to alter your plans accordingly. And then the next card, Sun Tzu says, though we have heard of stupid haste in war, cleverness has never been associated with long delays. So be decisive, be quick. Life is short, although it's not only when you reach a certain age that you realize this. The fact is that you cannot afford to wait too long to tackle your problems, as they will only get worse. Face them now, decide what to do, and act quickly. You may find things are not as difficult as you thought. And last one out. For advice, the clever combatant looks to the effect of combined energy. Does not require too much from individuals, hence his ability to pick out the right men and utilize combined energy. Nurture your friendships. The human condition requires that to be whole, each person establishes a network of interpersonal relationships to help realize their human potential. The true power of friendship cannot really be understood or explained. It can only be experienced. A friend network does not grow in linear fashion. It grows in all directions. One friend is of great value. When then is the value of two? What then is the value of two? Interesting. Okay, on to the question for Devancha. Let's see. All right. Who will help in my PhD, or am I alone to take ahead? How will my relationship with my supervisor... Okay, let's do Okay, I'll do the first one there, or the who will help in the PhD, or will I be alone to take the PhD? Okay, will Devansha be alone in doing the PhD? Will Devansha be working with someone or alone in the PhD? Almost feels like there's more than one person. Again, you got over. That's definitely your card. I want to pull a few others here too to sort of clarify that, but one more second. We'll pull from the other deck. Okay, will Devansha be working alone with the PhD or with someone? Will Devansha be working alone with the PhD or with someone? Why is the Ten of Swords here? Ace of Swords, or yeah, Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups. Okay. I feel not working on this alone. I almost feel like there could be somebody who's really established or something that is, connected with this. Like definitely higher long-term commitment energy, but maybe there's something from the past as well that is coming in to sort of advance that. I think you're going to get some clarity here shortly, but I would say that I'm not going to say it feels like, how do I put that? It doesn't feel like it's like, it feels like you're working in a larger capacity. Like I said, it's not with just like another person that you're doing this with. It feels like it's on a really big scale. I don't know what that is, but definitely dealing with something that is going to be, you're connected to something on a really big scale with that PhD. So I don't feel like you're working alone, but it doesn't feel like it's one other person working alongside you. It feels like it's something bigger than that, because that card speaks to, sorry, I'll start with that one there, because that card really does speak to, having, you're dealing with an establishment, you're dealing with something that is governmental or very large corporation, something like that. So that is how I see you working with someone. It's not like one person. It feels like you're in collaboration with a really large entity, a large group, is what I would say there, because it's a traditional way of dealing with something. And it definitely feels like it has some restrictions and some rules to abide by, because again, it's an established way of dealing with something. And I do feel like this is, I don't know, it could be even church sort of energy well, but it's definitely something that's very established structure, it's bigger, it's very big. And it feels like, again, there's some rules around it. Feeling lots of obstacles during the PhD work. Well, okay, it does feel like there could be some obstacles, again, for sure, because we are looking at the Ten of Swords there. So I would say that is definitely right around that kind of structured entity for sure. But I don't see it as like, I see positive cards around it. So, like I said, I mean, even though the Ten of Swords kind of speaks to there being some, harsh difficulties and possible restrictions and all of that, I feel like you're going to get a final resolution, and then, things move forward. You're going to get some kind of information that comes through, and it's like a gift or an opportunity that helps you to move that ahead. So yeah, there's looks like there could be an administrative issue, but because that would be what the Hierophant card stands for. But I see something from the or something from childhood, or something that is childlike or whatever. There's something there that's coming in that's kind of a gift to you, that's helping you out. The universe is coming in to gift you something that's going to advance that forward. It just feels like you're not alone in that for sure. You're not seeing that it's there yet. It's just because it hasn't come forward and been communicated. It's not balanced out here. Definitely still feels like there is going to be something. Winter, spring is kind of coming through for that one. But I definitely feel like, there's something here of advancement. Because like I said, that Six of Cups energy it just feels like something from the past is going to help you out, help to work something out for you. Um, yeah. And I feel like, it's a sense of having to almost, I don't even want to say, it's not even really, um, I said it's some kind of new opportunity that'll come through from something either of old memory or from something around childhood or children, or it's like some kind of old skill or ability, something that you've done from the past as well, that could be coming forward here that is going to help to manifest this wish, this dream, this goal, with the PhD. So there's something around that. But again, like Ace of Cups is an excellent omen of, yes, something is amazing coming through to help you, because it's an opportunity that's going to help change things up. Um, and like I said, I mean, the six is definitely a balance card. It is that card though that kind of speaks to something that you've done from the past. Maybe you're not aware of it yet, but something that you've done from the past is somehow coming through. You're a spiritual person, do spiritual practices and doing PhD in spirituality only. Oh, for sure. And like that can be said that church came through, as I mentioned earlier, too. So, I mean, maybe there's something here that's related around that, because the Ace of Cups is something that is going to, bring about a happy situation. It's something that's coming forward in terms of career. It's luck. It's something that's fulfilling. It's something that you're going to hear about. I feel it's going to revitalize the situation. Um, but it's almost like you have to release something or let go of something here first. But that Ace of Swords does indicate that there is going to be some kind of communication. Then things will start to move in the direction that you're looking for. But definitely feel something's coming through. Something is going to come through. There's definitely something around dealing with the past. And again, I'm not sure what the release is on that one. Like, because the thing is with the, let's see, maybe I have to ask another question on that one. I'll just shuffle here and see what I get. Because the Eight of Cups is, there's something from the past that comes in to kind of benefit you or help you out in some way. Again, it helps you to get clear. But the thing is the Eight of Cups is also that card that indicates that there's, you're leaving something behind that didn't work. Let me just see what I should clarify that one. Give me 1 second here. What is that Eight of Cups? What is the release? Because it can also indicate kind of leaving a phase of your life behind and moving into this new energy, because you do have new energy coming in here. And even in terms of, you've gone as far as you can go with something, but there's still something here as in terms of career. What is the Eight of Cups? What is that conclusion of? What is the conclusion to? Okay, what is the Eight of Pentacles? Because that's a card of working hard, you've got a lot of anxiety around the work. Like a lot of anxiety. What is the Pentacles then? You feel stuck, you feel trapped, you have to change, you have to sacrifice something. You are going to have to sacrifice something. You have to let something go. And again, that's a decision card coming up with a judgment. Something around the PhD. You have to let go of something. Yeah, you're self-sabotaging. You're allowing yourself to kind of go round and round in circles here with something. You're triggering yourself. Okay, so once you let go of all of that, you do have something good that's coming in here with that well, don't quit, because you clearly have something to contribute here. I mean, I do see there's a lot of frustration and self-sabotage, all of that, but And you're getting kind of help that's going to come through here. There's something that's going to come in. What is that Six of Cups? What is that Six of Cups energy from the past that's coming in? You definitely have a new start. You have something for sure that's going to change, Devansha, because like that can be a card of a new love. That can be a card of a new start. That Ace of Wands, a person. You have to persevere. You got to push through this because that's the cards that are coming out. You've got a new start. You have a whole new life that's going to open up to you here. It's well protected. You have, you just have to be a little bit patient with this because it's going to definitely create a lot of independence for you and self-reliance. I still feel there's heartbreak around you, but that's all going to turn around. All of this stuff is changing. All of your energy is changing. Will the PhD... Yeah, be patient because you really do have a lot of good cards that are coming out. And more than once. Did it on the other read, that Sun card came out more than once. And so did the well, the Ace of Wands, I believe, came in there too, I think. But the Ace of Wands, and you also had the Ace of Cups. That's two aces. That's inspiration. You've got clarity, and you definitely have, yeah, I did see Broken Heart in there too. But I do feel like you're going to get clear on that. And you also had the and the Ace of Swords. You have three aces. You have big changes in your life, and especially too with that Judgment card. You have big changes that are incoming for you on 3 different areas of life, and that is pretty significant. And the only thing that's left would be the Pentacles. That would be the Independence cards. So that's the Ace of Pentacles, the only one you don't have. So that means that's the materialization of things. Will Devansha find love again? Will Devansha find love again? I do, yeah, like, some kind of communication is going to come in quick here, but I still feel like the process of love for you is very slow. And I'm still seeing the in and out energy from, this could be 2 different people. One is very practical, slow, methodical, and I feel that's probably Arjun. But there's also this flirty energy around here. I don't know if it could be that Arjun would be the in and out sort of person, but they're slow building. They don't do anything. I'm not seeing strong commitment there yet, although this is a person who would commit. It's just that it feels like the timing is off or something's not quite. There's some other factors involved there. Will Arjun commit eventually to Devansha? No, I got the Devil card out there, and that was there before. There's something still to be worked through there yet. Although it will balance its way out here, but there's still something to be worked through there. Again, there's Libra, Gemini, air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I think Arjun is still in the mix here. Like I said, there's an energy of some other flirty energy or somebody that's coming in that's kind of like, I just don't feel like they're there for the long haul, but I feel like this is probably Arjun. Arjun would be the established Knight Pentacle. But the Page of Pentacles, this can represent as a new person, but to me, usually I see other cards that would come out with that. So I feel like the Page of Pentacles is sort of the new start with Arjun in some way, which is not big, strong love affair. It's more practical energy, making a step in the direction of, like a token of affection in some way. Yeah, maybe that is, because he definitely feels like there's other things that are in the way for sure. Will Arjun be... Is Arjun the one? Is Arjun the one? They'll commit to Devansha. Okay, well, not yet. I mean, right now I'm seeing this as a big no, because again, there's there's too much confusion in the mix. There's some things in lack, could be around finances, but there's a real pulling back. That's why I said this is somebody who works really slow. They do things on their own timeline. So you can't push that person. You can't push Arjun. I think there is going to be a flirty person that comes in there in between, but I don't think they're there for the long haul. The other cards out here, and these ones are sort of the ones that were based around the PhD, because I believe that was the question initially I was asking there. But the card of the world does indicate that there is something really substantive for sure that is going to be coming in. So, in terms of the PhD, this is the yeah that is going to be coming through. Promises kept, graduation. That's what that card represents. Um, Well, I don't know. I know, but for sure, I mean, Devancha, it might be just like it could be a good friendship or something that's coming through where somebody just kind of appears and disappears, but there's somebody, just feels like there's someone else that could kind of come in there. Um, but yeah, career very important for sure, because like I said, this is the card of graduation, the world cards. That feels like a definite yes. It's a major milestone that's reached for, definitely for sure, with a degree. And it definitely feels like that is no problem for you. With the Two of Wings, again, it's almost like there's got to be some kind of a decision or balance things out. So either you're feeling like you need to take a break, because that would be what that card is. Taking a break before you kind of move into this chapter. So it feels, and that's come out a couple of different times here, rest and relaxation. So it's almost like once things are done, you almost need to balance it out with a bit of play or vacation, or at least doing something that helps you to feel like you're more getting to yourself again. And then you kind of go back out into things. But the Four of Wings, lots of that energy around there too. The Four of Wings also speaks to the same sort of thing. Like it's sort of a private card, as it says, spending time alone, that kind of thing, retreating from pressures, demands, all of that. That's what that kind of speaks to. So it feels like after you finish the PhD, you're taking a break. And then it feels like you kind of get right back into looking forward again. And then it's like this new thing kind of appears, that is the Ace of Cups, because you also have the Ace of Wings here. So that's a triumph. There's something that's coming in that's going to move this ahead for you, that you just don't see yet. And again, a lot of aces here. There's three aces, and they're all, every single one of them but the Pentacles. So again, the Pentacles is the grounding card, is the money card. So right now you have the right idea, you've got the right focus, you really are organized and planned, and you're manifesting and you just have to keep thinking that way, and that's, asking the important questions of yourself, and making sure that you have those long-term goals, around your relationships, having an outline. I know it sounds weird, but they say even having a line of what you're looking for, so that when you see it, you're not kind of distracted by other things. So it's almost, but it's having the knowledge and the wisdom to apply those things. That's what that card is with that. But I feel you're going to get some ideas around things that will help you to, maybe that's where that you get the idea, and then that's why the Ace of Cups comes in, because you had it in the other deck as well, the other tarot, two of the aces. And for sure, when we get to the Prince of Roses, and again, I still feel like that's you there, because it's consistently coming out. So I definitely feel like, this is you, and it does speak to things eventually will kind of go your way, because there's a lot of dedication with that card, even though, as I said, it's a competitive card, but it's also someone who's really able to be a risk taker in if they need to. But it's almost like things move quickly as well. Yeah, but that's what I would say. I'm just going to ask one more thing here. Will there be a love connection with Arjun? Will there be like a reconnection in love with Arjun? Again, you're getting the same cards. Like it feels like there's action, and it is going Aries, Leo, Sagittarius as well, if that's relevant. But it's like something is moving ahead. It's moving. But again, I'm getting the Three of Cups. It doesn't matter. Every time I pull it, it's the same thing coming through. There's something about a group dynamic, or some kind of inspiration, or some kind of group setting, friendship, whatever. Again, it's coming through as a gathering. That's when things kind of reinitiate in a weird way. maybe that's when maybe you need to be physically present to kind of, get the chemistry going again. I don't know, but I guess not, maybe. But there's definitely something about, that celebration or that reconnection. He's not going away. And again, he does things on his own time frame. So, I mean, I'm not seeing him advancing forward anytime real soon in that way yet. But I definitely feel like it's like a tight bond. Like it just feels like there is a tight bond there, something that's really holding the two of you together. Um, but again, like I said, there's just something that you just have to hold out a little while longer on that one because there's a strong friendship with that. Slow tortoise. Well, I think they do say, what is it? What do they say with that tortoise? I never remember the things. Anyway, I'm tired. That's part of this. But tortoise. There was a movie I remember. Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna try to remember it. Gotta get to bed, guys. But hopefully that gave you a little insight. Like I said, that was pretty good reading. Everything for everybody. There's a lot of positive cards coming out. There is still a lot of frustration going on in the month of August for Gemini, but overall, I mean, you do get the answers that you're looking for. Like I said, even with your advice cards, focus on connection to establishing a network of people. And oh, thanks, Devansha. Did you have another question? You were super sweet. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like I said, it just feels like everything is going pretty well for everybody. I mean, despite there are some setbacks and waiting. Okay, he is like, I will do things the way I want. Yeah, that does sound right. Like I said, he doesn't seem like he's somebody that's gonna, he does things at his own pace, at his own time. You don't push him for sure. Actually, I know this is a weird advice one for that one, but let's ask a question on that one. What advice is good for Devansha with Arjun? What advice is good for Devansha with Arjun? I know I'm taking it from the Art of War cards, but I'm still going to try anyway, just out of curiosity. Just because. All right, the card that... Oh, don't be deceived. Life is hard enough when we are deceived by others, but even harder we deceive ourselves. When we tell ourselves that others are better, smarter, and more deserving of happiness than we are, or when emotions get in the way of our rational choices, much of our freedom and power comes from control of our choices. Choose not to be deceived. All warfare is based on deception. Huh. I think this is more about you than him, really. Thinking that, yeah, when our emotions get in the way of our choices, much of our freedom and power comes from our control of our choices. Okay. Yeah, I guess that does seem to be what's coming through there. Yeah, and that you are deserving of happiness. That's what that card was all about. Okay, I'll do what kind of guy is... What kind of guy is... Well, we know that he's slow, practical, and... What kind of guy is Arjun? What kind of guy is Arjun? What kind of guy is Arjun? Okay, I think he's defensive. Hardworking. Why is the Nine of Swords here? What is he worried about? He's healing from something. What is the Eight of Pentacles? He feels stuck, I think, in career somehow. What is the Nine of Wands? He's going through a period of transition. That's what that is. That's why there's a bit of a delay. Yeah, it does feel like a career issue. He feels stuck, feels like he can't move ahead. He's very guarded, very defensive. He's really worried about... he's healing, but he's really worried about how he's going to advance. I would definitely say it's going to take a little bit of time for I mean, he's almost there though, because I mean, it's at the 9 on both of them, 9 of swords, 9 of wands. So he's almost through all of that healing. Yeah, he's almost through that. He just needs a little bit more. He's almost in the area of the 10. Again, everybody works through it at their own pace, but I mean, he's almost through it. He's almost finished it, whatever this is, because the death card is here. So he's just in a period of transition. Yeah, well, that makes some sense for sure. Because again, I see like with the 9 of swords there, he is still in a period of healing with the star. So there's definitely something that's got to be. He just feels a little trapped right now. He feels trapped. He feels stuck. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, as far as maybe he took a bit of a loss of income or something like that, but he's been forced to kind of move in a new direction. So something might have really pushed him. You know, he's had to kind of let go of a lot of things, and that's been painful and awkward for him. And like I said, I mean, the fact that he's still kind of pushing ahead, though, with the 8 of Pentacles is a good sign. But again, he's still got the energy of the man, so that still tells me that he's still trying to change the blockages. He's trying to figure out how to fix the broken things to be able to move forward again. He's not in that space entirely yet, but he is doing on it. He's really, really worried about it, though. Things are taking longer than he expects. Yep, that all makes sense. That he wants one career and as a dream, but changing his decision to choose another career. Yep, that does look like that's what's happening. And again, like I said, even with the star card, I mean, it still sort of speaks to that same sort of thing. Like he will that illumination, like he will get that answer here pretty soon. And it's not that you can't go back to something. Sometimes you have to take a step back to move 2 steps forward, or however that expression goes. But the fact that the star card is here and that he's in deep transition means that he is going to come out on top, because the star card is the card of getting clarity. It is a fresh start. It is an enlightenment. It's also that card of a new opportunity. So, like I said, I feel like he's in that space of he trying to find some balance, but he's just got to keep the faith with the star card there. So his future does look bright, and he definitely has, an ability to kind of, his persistence will pay off. Just let him know that, like, the persistence will pay off. Everything will work out, because this is a card of confidence. Yeah, and I mean, it is a fulfilled promise with the star card. So there's a door that's going to open for him, and the star does mean it's a fairly high position. It's got a really good potential with it, with whatever it is. And it feels like it could just, I'm not sure if that's just going to kind of land in his lap, but let's just see. Will it just land in his lap? That door, that opportunity. Is it just going to come to him? Well, he's definitely got good career of some sort, because that, something that's going to work for him, because that 9 of Pentacles is independence and good money. Ooh, but I don't know what the tower is. What is the tower? Why is the tower here? There's an unknown element yet, but he will have a victory over it. So whatever that tower is, there's going to be something that's going to really upset things and throw him off, but he's going to conquer it, whatever it is. Something's going to kind of throw him for a loop, and he's not really sure what it is here, because the High Priestess tells me that's an element that is the unknown. He's not going to be sure of what to do, but he figures it out, because again, he's got the victory card. So he ends up with whatever he intended to end up with, but there is a hidden factor there that's he's not really seeing the full picture of. But again, you can't push that kind of thing, because if he doesn't have the full story, you can't make a decision anyway. Scorpio energy there, but definitely needs to probe probe a little deeper, ask those questions, because that's what the element of the High Priestess is keeping to himself. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of help. Did that give you some insight there, Devancha? alrighty. Well, I'm going to sign off. This is 1 o'clock now. I've got to head to bed now. Time is running out. Always good to see you, though, and to everybody else that has been tapping in here. So, yeah, anyway, I'll leave it at that, Gemini, and I will probably do a Cancer read sometime in the next short while, but for now, over and out. You're welcome to see you again.